For this contest, I wanted to explore the workings of a neural network and the basics of machine learning. To better understand what each process does, the only library used outside of the content of ENCMP 100 is Pandas, a CSV data analysis and manipulation library. For my purposes, Pandas is used in the getData function, which turns a CSV file into a table of data. This data is then standardized between 0 and 1, and some data is duplicated to balance the number of outputs. Additional information can be found within the code. So what exactly is a neural network? One can imagine a neural network as a mathematical function, taking a set of input values and returning an output value. For the data used in this project specifically, the neural network takes in a set of weather readings and outputs the percent chance of rain that day. The way neural networks achieve this is through the use of nodes and layers. To visualize this, we'll use 8 input nodes for each of the weather readings and 2 layers of hidden nodes consisting of 4 and 2 neurons respectively, concluding with 1 output node. The number of neurons within the hidden layers were chosen arbitrarily and can be changed within the code to optimize performance. Additionally, all other hyperparameters discussed can also be modified to observe the effect they have on the final network. Each node can be thought of as a variable that holds a number between 0 and 1, representing how active it currently is. The neurons in one layer then influence the neurons in the next layer through a combination of weights and biases. Just like how the entire neural network can be seen as a function, so can each neuron. Simply, a neuron takes the values of all neurons in the layer before, multiplies them by a coefficient, then adds a constant. These coefficients are called the weights and the constants are called the bias. Using linear algebra, the weights can be grouped into a matrix and the inputs can be grouped into a column vector. The same operation is occurring to all neurons in the same layer, with the same input values, and thus their weight matrix and bias can be further simplified into one matrix function, taking a column vector of inputs from the previous layer and outputting a column vector of the values of each neuron in the current layer. However, a neural network using only linear transformations will only be able to recognize linear relationships within the data. To recognize more complex relationships, nonlinearity must be introduced. To keep the network as simple as possible, I selected the ReLU, or rectified linear units function, represented by the max function in Python. After the linear transformation, all values within the output vector are standardized. All this is accomplished using the forward pass user-defined function. With the combination of these linear transformations and nonlinear standardizations, we can then construct a neural network that can make the predictions we want. But how do we know what to settle the weights and biases to? To do this, we use a combination of backpropagation and gradient descent. When the dataset is originally processed, it is split into 2 sets, training and testing. The training set is unique because not only does the program know what the input is, it also knows what the expected output is. The splitting is done using functions from the Pandas library. To find an optimal setting for the weights, first we set them randomly. Within the code, the node setup function randomly sets all the weights and biases using HE initialization. Next, a forward pass is done on a row of data and output value calculated. Because we know what the expected output should be, we can then calculate how wrong our calculation was, in this case using the root mean square error. By treating the input as constant, we can define a loss function with a value equal to the error. Since the output value calculated depends on all the weights and biases, the loss function can then be shown as a function that takes all the weights and biases as inputs and returns an estimation of how inaccurate the network is. To make a network that gives accurate predictions, we need to minimize this loss. Since the loss function has many inputs, the negative gradient is used to find which direction the input should move. The gradient of a function can be found by taking the partial derivatives of the loss function with respect to each variable. Within the code, this is achieved in the backpropagation function. In order to find these partial derivatives, successive chain rules are taken, starting in the last layer and sweeping across all neurons and connections. For the loss function and ReLU function, additional Python functions are defined to calculate their derivatives. Looking at one node, we can get a better understanding of what exactly is happening. First, the partial derivatives of each function is calculated. Next, the chain rule can be applied, multiplying the partial derivatives of each function to find those needed for the gradient vector. Finally, these values are then added to the respective gradient matrix, and the process continues on in the next layer. When weights affect the loss in multiple paths within the network, the gradient vectors are summed. Once all the gradient vectors have been calculated, a scalar multiple of them is then subtracted from all the weights and bias matrices proportional to the learning rate, and another hyperparameters can be set within the code. The backpropagation function does these calculations using NumPy matrices and nested for loops. Once the weights and biases have been changed, another set of data sent through the system and the previous steps are repeated. This is done over the entire training set. Since our data set of 365 measurements is relatively small in terms of machine learning, the same set of data is processed multiple times. Each one of these repetitions is called an epoch. This is the final hyperparameter which can be adjusted within the code. Once all epochs have been finished, the trained network can be tested. Using the tested data separated right at the start, we can see how well the network performs on information it has never seen. Each piece of data is forward passed through the system. If it is the same as output as we want, the network predicted correctly. The amount of data the network predicts correctly gives the accuracy of the network. Additionally, the root mean square error is calculated for each output. The average of this is the precision. Finally, within the program, I added the ability to visualize the neural network. The plot nodes function creates a graph of one of the test cases. The weights of the network are represented by a line connecting 2 points. Red lines represent positive connections, while blue lines represent negative connections. The opacity of the line then shows the strength of each connection. More test cases can be viewed. To make this project, I relied on many online resources, including but not limited to 3 Blue 1 Brown's videos of neural networks and large language models, Geeks for Geeks Neural Network Guide and Rainfall CSV, and Roger Grouse's online lectures from the University of Toronto. Multiple versions of this code were made, mostly testing different algorithms for backpropagation and different standardizing functions, such as the sigmoid function, with the final version lying at a balance between simplicity and effectiveness.